Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle. It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch The Legend of Korra Season 1, Episode 8. Yes, I still have my splint, and I learned 2 days ago now, I can't remember, that I'm gonna have it 1 more week than what it was planned. So for the totality of it, I would have had a splint, something on my finger for 1 month and 1 week. I know that after that I'm gonna need to re-educate it, so it's gonna take even more time. I'm tired of that. And you don't know everything about it because I'm not telling you everything about it because I don't want to tell you everything about my private, life and all. I'm telling you what you need to know to understand why I have it and all. I have an issue with this finger, with this hand. What? Okay. Since 2 years and a half now. When they announced me that I was gonna have a surgery, I was like, yes, finally, I'm gonna get over it. At first they announced me 1 week of splint, now it's 1 month and 1 week. I'm like, I want to finish. I'm tired, see, it's my nerves which are beginning to break a little, like, I'm tired. That's just a finger, and that's not the most important finger, but still it's causing me trouble and pain and stuff. Not any pain since the surgery, it's better than what it was before, but it's beginning to be annoying, 2 years and a half, I thought that I was gonna be over it in just 1 week, and finally it was 1 month. I was like, okay, I can do it. Now they're telling me that it's gonna be 1 week more, so I'm like, okay, but I'm beginning to be like, maybe in 1 week they're gonna tell me that it's gonna be more than that. I'm tired. I'm really getting tired, and my nerves are right there, so my emotions are right there. So as you can see, really, I'm in a good mood. See, I'm taking that like. But as you can see, my emotions are really high, and like if during one of the 2 episodes that I'm gonna watch today we're gonna have flashbacks, big flashbacks, because we had flashbacks already into The Legend of Korra, but it was such short one. I'm not even sure that I totally understand what happened really during these flashbacks. I think that they are related to Aang and that Yakone that he fought with. We saw Aang during these flashbacks. We saw someone, I can't tell who he was. We saw Toph also, who was older. But it was so short. Flashbacks like that, it's not gonna make me cry. Real flashback, I'm gonna be on the floor. Really, with a level of emotions like I have right now. Or if we are seeing, a ghost from the past, like if we have an old version of Zuko or someone else, I'm gonna die. I know that we're not gonna have Sokka. I saw that during the editing, but I missed that part, with Katara saying that our brother is not there anymore. But they didn't say anything about Zuko, and even a secondary character like June being older, like Theo, see, maybe it would be nice to see him older, but see, it can make me cry really easily. That's gonna be a day like that. You won't. Yes, I'm taking a lot of time in intro, like always, to tell you all of that, but it's to warn you. You know how I am already. Usually I'm emotional, But you know also, if you are there since a long time, that when I'm into that kind of mood, it's worst. It's exhausting for me also, you know. I mean, maybe you're gonna be like, oh, that's annoying, she's gonna cry for nothing, everything. Yes, but just know that it's also annoying for me. I'm also exhausted by that, you know, like, I would love to not be like that, but I make peace with myself with that, you know, with my emotions being so high and all. I made peace with the fact that I'm an emotional person, and what? Really, what? I prefer to be like that. And you know, you have to be brave also to be emotional in front of people, even more in front of the camera, I think. But in front of people, you know, like, people can think that it's a weakness. It's not. To show your emotions, to tell how you're feeling and all, you have to be brave to do that. I'm encouraging you to do it. Long intro, and I didn't even talk about the show. We discovered that Sato created all of that for Amon. Is still free and also maybe he can continue to do it for Amon. That's bad. I loved what Asami did during the last episode. I think that that's it for me. She's a part of the team, she's a part of the group. If one of them is bad with her, you know, is treating her bad, like if Korra is continuing to ignore her a little and to make faces, you know, when she's with Mako, I'm gonna be mad. Yes, I began to ship Mako with Korra, but it doesn't mean that I'm not seeing, you know, that Mako and Asami, they're cute, they have a sweet relationship, and Asami, she was already nice before, you know, the last episode. I already found her nice before that, but during the last episode, she proved that we can trust her, and she can be so great also into the group, you know, she can fight, she's a fucking good pilot. That's it for me. Asami, she's a part of the group, she proved herself, and she's nice and sweet with everyone. I really loved what she did during the last episode. Amon, you know, I have so many theories about him, and like I said in one of the intro, some of them are based on facts, and some of them are based only on feelings, you know, on instinct that I can have, and I think that maybe it's totally wrong, you know, it's just the beginning of the season 1. The beginning? No. Now it's the half of the season 1, but I have the impression that I'm going too far with these series which are based on feelings. For me, what I think is the fact that he is in fact a bender. I think that he's lying about that. It's based on nothing, if not, you know, just the fact that he can do that, you know, take bending away. He said that spirits, you know, told him to do that and that. I have the impression that to do that, you have to be a bender. For me, he's lying also about that. I don't think that spirits told him how to do that and gave him that mission. And another theory that I have is the fact that creating that war between benders and non-benders, it's based on real issues. I'm sure of that now, and I'm sure of the fact that to win against Amon, you have to win by fighting him, but also by taking political decisions and by convincing people, because to convince people so easily, Amon, he has to be right about a lot of things, and we saw it, no matter what, we saw it. But Amon, the reasons why he's creating that war between benders and non-benders, I'm not sure that he's fully honest with that, and I don't think that his final objective is to destroy all of the benders and that's it, you know, to rule with just non-benders. No, I think that it's one of the steps that he has to follow for his plan, his personal plan. Creating a war between benders and non-benders, that's a step, but that's not the conclusion of the plan. I think that his plan is related to the Avatar, and that's why he didn't want to take her bending away just like that. Maybe he wants her to be an accomplished Avatar to do it. Maybe he's not gonna just still airbending but take it for himself. I don't know if it's possible or not. There is something right there. And if I'm continuing, you know, with that theory about him being related to Yakone, I don't even know who was Yakone, what he did, how Aang defeated him and stuff like that. But I think that maybe Amon is related to Yakone, or maybe is Yakone in fact older. But maybe in fact his plan, you know, it's a revenge plan to Amon. I'm talking about Amon. I don't know. See, I have a lot of theories about him, some based on facts, some based just on feelings. And again, I'm seeing all of that and I'm pretty sure that it's a 50-50, you know, for my theories. I believe into my theories at 50%, just that. And I'm pretty sure that 90% of it are wrong. But still, I love to make theories, I love to try to understand things. Even if I'm wrong, I'm still working, you know, on it. I'm still trying to discover it. I love that. I'm gonna stop this intro right now. The weather is changing a lot today. You're gonna see a lot of sun and after that maybe it's gonna rain. Just to warn you, you know, for the light, if it's changing a lot, I'm sorry for that. And also for the noise, if it's raining. I'm gonna begin this episode. Like usually you have my Patreon on which you have the episodes earlier. 2 weeks earlier. For The Legend of Korra it's 2 weeks earlier. For Death Note it's 1 week earlier. For Firefly it's the same day but sooner during the day. That's already a lot. Oh, and also you have an extended or a full reaction part. Check the description to know for this episode if it's the extended or full reaction part that I put on my Patreon, so you can know to which level you have to subscribe on my Patreon. Let's go. I need to buy a new computer, really. My MacBook, it's from 2012, almost 10 years now, and for some things it's beginning to be so slow, and also to edit videos now it's crashing sometimes. It's it's gonna be a day like that. You're not gonna want to work today. I need to film today. I need to film 4 videos. I love Lin. I think that she's gonna be one of my favorite characters.
You're finally here!
Haha.
What's that fuzzy creature?
It's Pabu! It can be a good friend for you.
He's cute!
Me.
We shall meet again soon, beautiful woman.
Oh, Milo.
Iki and I will take you to your room this way.
Asami, did you know Korra likes Mako?
Oh,
What did you do? What did you say?
run along, Iki!
Oh,
Iki. She's really like me.
Thank you for your hospitality.
You're nice,
Where?
Sunny.
Beifong's replacement Saikon is going to be inducted as the new chief of police later. I think we should both be there.
Do you know him? Is he gonna be like that with Tarlok?
But there's one man who's been effective against Amon's revolution. Councilman Tarlok.
Okay, you're one of Tarlok's men.
And I will report
That's
directly
it.
to him. The police department will lend any and all available resources to the councilman and his task force.
He almost has the control of the council. Now he has the control of the security of the city.
I highly doubt it was legal.
You need to never leave the council, Tenzin.
You know, Tenzin's been right about you all along. You played me, you played Beifong,
Hmm.
and now you're playing the new chief, too. You need me, but I don't need you.
Right.
I'm the Avatar.
You are not, in fact, the Avatar.
Excuse me?
Is your airbending going? Made me
Oh, you're such a snake!
yes with that.
Korra.
Aang not only had his bending teachers, but also his past lives to call upon for guidance. Have you ever made contact with your past lives?
No.
Not today! Please! I said that my emotions were higher than usually. No, she can't meet today.
Something you mistook as a dream.
I had a few weird hallucinations.
No,
I believe Aang's spirit must be trying to tell you something.
not today. Just to think about this, I'm crying. No.
But we're still a team. The new Team Avatar.
Aww.
And we can save the city together.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
I figure one way to fight equalists is to use an equalist weapon.
Yes! You're a good pilot, my dear.
You think this'll do?
We need to find a name for that car.
All warlord, equalist Let's get him.
Do you have a plan in mind?
Pull in. Give me a rap. Now.
Yep. Good. What about the other one?
Avatar Corps, what do you think you're doing?
Your job.
If it wasn't for Team Avatar, they would have gotten away.
This is your last warning. Stay out of my way.
Or what? What are you gonna do? You need costumes.
The law I have proposed would make it illegal for anyone to be a member of the Equalists, or even be
You're not thinking about that right. Understand why now.
homes by nightfall.
This is going
And you're creating a new thing to punish non-benders. You're gonna create more equalists.
Cause our city to fall into Amon's hands.
No, your actions are gonna do it. You're amplifying the war between benders and non-benders.
After you.
What a gentleman. Thanks.
Listen, she's nice, but don't push it too hard, you know, by flirting with her man in front of her. No, I'm gonna hate what I'm gonna see.
Wait a second. These people aren't armed or dangerous.
They're not equalists.
All non-benders, return to your homes immediately.
Yeah, as soon as you turn our power back on.
Please help us. You're our avatar too.
Yes. Bring balance. Corrupt.
You need to turn the power back on and leave these people alone.
This is an equalist rally. There's nothing innocent about it.
No!
Not equalists. They're just normal people who want their rights back.
Round up all these equalists.
You have to do it on purpose. You can't be that stupid. I'm trying to not cry. What?
The non-bender out past curfew, and her father is a known equalist conspirator. Arrest him and his brother.
Oh, yeah.
Laura, listen to him. It's not worth it.
Yes, it is.
All equalist suspects are being detained indefinitely.
Indefinitely? Are you fucking crazy?
No longer a threat to take that up with Councilman Tarlock. Oh, I plan to. At the council meeting, first thing in the morning.
Oh, the picture is beautiful.
Wake up, Naga. Let's go.
You're gonna try to free them?
Don't worry, I'll be alright.
Naga is feeling that you're gonna do something wrong.
You and I need to talk.
I believe everyone has gone home for the night.
Then you should do the same.
You're doing exactly what Amon says is wrong with benders.
Thank
You're
you.
using your power to oppress and intimidate people.
Thank you.
You don't. Intimidate me into releasing your friends?
Don't compare.
Your willingness to go to extremes in order to get what you want. It is a quality we both share.
Don't!
You and I are nothing
Yes.
alike. You might be able to manipulate Chief Saikon into following you, but it won't work on me.
You will regret that decision.
Not as
You
much.
need to be stopped. You're just as bad as Amon.
Yep. You're attacking her? Are you freaking crazy? How are you gonna justify that to the council and all? He's gonna say that she attacked him. No one is there. Crap. Yeah.
Still think I'm an half-baked avatar?
Cora! Don't kill him! Oh, you have a dark side.
What are you gonna do
And
now?
it's not even the avatar state.
Order, pal.
see that?
Bloodbender?
Very observant.
It's torture. It's
Not a full moon.
There are a lot of things you don't know about me.
tough and you fought against
Where
Tarlok?
are you taking me?
Somewhere no one will find you. Say goodbye to Republic City, Avatar Korra.
Are you with Amon? Are you? Show me more than these little flashbacks. I can't. Not the end, please. I feel betrayed. Which is great in a way. Which means that I connect with Korra. And I told you during one of the reviews that I had some trouble to connect with the girl. I love her big mouth, I love her attitude, I love the fact that she's so different from Aang, you know, that she's so impulsive, direct and all. I love a lot of things about her. And I love also her story, her issues that she has to resolve, because again they are so different from Aang, and I love that, you know, that it's not just the same and all. But I had trouble to connect with her, and that was weird for me because she's expressing her feelings, she also had moments, you know, of weakness, so I was like, why I didn't connect? That's it. Me being like that at the end of this episode, it's proving that I'm connected to the girl. Because I'm really feeling betrayed. What just happened? I thought, you know, at the beginning of the fight against Tarlok that he was gonna fight with her and then accuse her of attacking him because she wanted to release her friend and all. There have been, you know, the good moment, the good way to tell to everyone that the Avatar went crazy and that they can't follow the Avatar, trust into the Avatar and all. But Korra surprised me during that moment because she went really into a dark side, like we saw Aang doing dark stuff also, but he was into the Avatar state during that moment, he was not himself anymore. Right there, Korra, she was totally herself, she has really a dark side of her, she's not controlling her feelings, she's not controlling her anger, her rage. That's bad. It's not surprising me that she can't airbend, you know, if she can't control her feelings like that. But after that, Tarlok, he used bloodbending, and just the word, it's making me not comfortable. And if you were there for the binge watching of Avatar The Last Airbender, you saw how I reacted when Katara learned to do that. I hated that, and then when she used it against the captain of a ship, you know, I hated that also. Then against the guy who did that to her mother, I hated that. And if I understood why she used it and the fact that it was logical and all, I hate that. For me, it's like torturing someone. To do that to someone, you know, from the inside and all, to control his body, it's shocking me, really. So for Tarlok to use it right there, it shocked me. But really, he took her, said to her that he's gonna take her to somewhere that no one is gonna find. She doesn't know anything about him. The flashback, it was a justice moment, you know, a trial. Toph was attacking during that trial or defending herself, because she was at the place of the witness or of the person who is accused. And Aang was into the public. Tarlok was involved. You know, the flashbacks that we had earlier with Korra, I thought that it was related to Amon, because maybe Amon is related to that Yakone, that Aang fought and all of that. Now I'm confused because right there Amon was not involved. It was Tarlok. I'm really confused. These flashbacks, they are so short and we don't have any really story between all of these pictures, so I can't say who did what. For now, the impression that I have, it's a story, something which happened between Toph, Aang, Tarlok and that Yakone, when Korra told Tarlok, like, you are like Amon. Tarlok eyes open like that. For me, it was an insult for him, for her to tell him that. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe in fact they are working together, because right there, everything that he's doing, Tarlok, it's really like playing Amon's game. On Amon's side, you know, like you're doing everything that you can to really amplify that war between benders and non-benders by saying that every non-benders are equally, by taking out rights from the non-benders, you are really amplifying that war. The situation is so bad right now. We have Bolin, Mako and Asami in jail. We have Korra being taken away by Tarlok. We have all of the council being destroyed. How Tarlok is gonna explain that, you know, because he was the last one left into the place, so how he's gonna explain that, that's gonna be something, you know, something important, I mean. I'm afraid of Tenzin being forced to leave the council. Tarlok will have everything. The control of the council, the control of the security. I said during another review that for me, for now, Tarlok is really acting for himself, he wants the power and all, but I don't think that he is on Amon's side. I had the impression that maybe at some point he could be on Amon's side if it means for him to have more power or to stay at a place of power. But now I'm beginning to have doubts because of what Tarlok said during this episode is implying that he's already involved into the big story, you know, into that big story, and the flashbacks that we had, it was him younger. Toph, what happened, you know? Why were you involved like that into the story? That's gonna be great because we have Lin with Toph's daughter, so if she knows stuff about what happened or if she's gonna learn what happened, it can be interesting. Maybe it can be a revenge arc, something like that into the story for our part. It could be interesting. Oh, I'm really confused, and yes, I felt betrayed because I can't understand things. They're not giving all of the informations that we need to have to understand this flashback, you know, what happened during that time, between who and who did what, for what reasons and all. We don't have anything about that. And because of that, we can't understand right now all of the stories between the actual characters. I understand that it's related to that because of their own past or of their parents, but I'm not even sure of that. The rest of the episode, you know, the fact that we have now a new team avatar, it's great. I love that Asami is a part of it, and you know, she knows how to fight, she's clever, she thought, you know, about taking that technology, she's a good pilot. She proved it during that moment, you know, when they chased this man. She has also principles, strong ones, and she's ready to fight for them. She was ready to defend these persons, these non-benders during that situation. I really appreciate her. But I don't like the fact that, you know what they are doing, Mako and Korra? They are making it hard for me to ship them. I began the show by beginning to ship them. I already hated how they acted during that episode, you know, when they confessed their feelings, making Bolin cry like that and all. I hated that moment when as a shipper, I should have loved it. And right there, the fact that they are flirting with each other while Mako is with Asami and in front of Asami, that's wrong. They are, yes, beginning to make it hard for me to ship them. If they are continuing to act like that, I'm gonna be mad at them and then I'm not gonna ship them anymore. They're gonna become to be annoying. You know what I mean? I really don't approve that kind of attitude and relationship, you know, because it's a little toxic to be like that as character but also as a couple. I don't like that. That was so wrong, you know, when these cops wanted to arrest these people. I almost cried because it's everything that Amon wants. For you to do that, it's just amplifying the war, and it's so wrong to think like that, to act like that. It made me mad and sad at the same time. I almost cried, but I cried during this episode just by imagining. It didn't happen. I just imagined that maybe Korra was gonna talk with Aang during this episode. You know, with Tenzin saying that she needs to talk with her past lives and all. Not today, really. I said that my emotions were higher than usually because my nerves are breaking down a little, you know, because of my health issues which are continuing, which are gonna last even more than what was planned the first time for sure, but also announced after the surgery. It's 1 more week of splint. I know 1 week it's not a lot, but after 2 years and a half of issues, and after that a surgery which didn't go as planned, and coming from 1 week to 1 month of splint, now they announced me 1 more week of splint. Like, I have the impression that I'm never gonna finish the issues with that finger, and I'm beginning to be exhausted by it. Not physically, the pain is okay, but mentally it's beginning to be rough, you know. So that's why my nerves are really high. So discussions between Korra and Aang today, nope. I'm not gonna handle it right, not at all. We'll see, maybe I'm gonna have that during the next episode, because I'm gonna watch 1 more episode today. I cannot wait, you know, with how it ended this episode, I really don't know. We are really in trouble. The new Team Avatar, you were just created and it's already a mess. I like, you know, when they did that, I really thought at the moment that they did that okay, we had water, earth, fire, and also non-bender, which is great, but I was like, we need someone from the air and all. So when Milo arrived, I was like, that's it, it's gonna be Milo. No, it's not gonna be Milo, but it could be fun if it would be Milo. Okay, I'm gonna stop right now this video, because I'm gonna watch 1 more episode, so it's all for you for today, and it's all for me for now, so bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Hey.